second segment, we'll get into World Inhumanities and Genocide.
Well, as you previously stated, my name is Alana McLaughlin. I am 13 years old, and I just finished middle school, so I will be attending the Nashville School of the Arts in the fall semester. I am heavily involved in plenty of organizations and summer camps, even though I'm just staying in town this summer, and many organizations. So I stay out the house a lot, ranging from church to neighborhood activities to marching band and etc. And so I stay a pretty busy person. But World Inhumanities and Genocide, that's such a delicate topic because so many lives were lost that you really have to tread lightly when talking about something where millions and millions of people died, and it's hard to execute. And so I'm wanting to execute it, but I believe that I can. I believe that I can. I won't be able to say I understand why that happened because none of us truly understand, but I can tell you what happened, and I can give you timelines and etc. And so I want to get a bit into a World Inhumanities and the difference between World Inhumanities and Genocide. World Inhumanities are just those cruel acts made by civilians that isn't genocide. Like, genocide is a mass killing of a race, and the purpose is to get rid of that race.
Eliminate that race.
For example, the Holocaust. Hitler wanted to get rid of Jewish people. The difference between World Inhumanity and genocide, say slavery would be World Inhumanity. They didn't necessarily want to kill us off, they wanted to work us and put us to use. And so they weren't killing off African Americans, but forcing them to do hard labor, which sadly means that it's not genocide, even though it's still as bad as genocide. And so that's the difference between that. So if you hear me talking about slavery and you're like, oh, why didn't she include that as genocide? It's not technically genocide. It's a cruel act of civilization. It's one of the worst things to happen in U.S. history, but it's not genocide. And so another good example of the difference between World Inhumanity and genocide would be, say, genocide, the Rwandan genocide. Genocide. And World Inhumanity, the Orlando shooting at the gay club that just happened. Now, that might be genocide. We don't know yet because people are thinking that it's either an attack on U.S. soil or that the shooter was trying to rid the world of gay people. So it's just conflicting. So we don't truly know at this point.
And so in a real sense, Alana, as we make preparations for our first commercial break here this morning, that this whole idea of world inhumanities, that is man inhumanity to man or woman's inhumanity to woman, that's not only important in terms of dealing with this whole issue of genocide, but I think we recognize that when we talk about genocide, we're talking about an attempt to bring a conclusion to something, and it's very rarely that we can assign the name genocide to many events, but I think that what you've done this morning is to come up with a number that you'd like to deal with in reference to it. And what we're going to do, we're going to take our first commercial break, and I think that basically that's what you want to do this morning. Is that the
That's what
area
I plan on
that
doing.
you want to do?
That's what
and so what we'll do is we'll take our first commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll deal with World Inhumanities and Genocide. And I want you to know that I've seen you in terms of pulling all of this information together, and I'm encouraged by knowing that you've got that information available to us. And I think that you've always had it available when you got to this particular point. And so what we're going to do, we're going to take our first commercial break, then we'll come back